Today, we will solve two-step word problems using variables. Today is the last lesson of a four-part problem solving with two-step word problems using variables. Our first problem in this lesson is, Danica has 137 markers. She has all kinds, bright colors, glittery colors, and pastels. She gave 65 markers to her sister. She put the remaining markers in bags of 8. How many bags does she fill? We can draw a diagram to help us understand the problem. We have 137 across the top for the total number of markers. We have 65 to show how many markers she shared with her sister. We know she put 8 markers in a bag. We don't know how many bags, so let's call this B. I then can form an equation of 8 times B, B representing the number of bags, and we need to find what 8 times B will equal. First, we need to subtract 65 from 137. 137 subtracting 65 totals 72. I now know that 8 times B equals 72. I then can say B equals 9. There were 9 bags of markers. Let's double check. If I take 65, then add 9 bags of 8 markers, which would be 9 times 8, it would total 72. If I add the 72 markers plus the 65 markers she gave her sister, I would total 137 markers. I have now justified my answer. Our next problem is when Dan woke up, the temperature was 68 degrees Fahrenheit. During the day, the temperature increased by 25 degrees. It then began to decrease. When he went to bed, it was 74 degrees. How many degrees did the temperature decrease from the warmest time of day until when Dan went to bed? Our first step is to find how warm it got during the day. When Dan woke up, the temperature was 68 degrees. It increased by 25 degrees. We then can add 68 plus 25 to total 93. The warmest part of the day was 93 degrees. This tape diagram will help us solve the problem. X will represent the amount of degrees. 74 plus X equals 93. I'll use a number line to solve. There are 19 total jumps to land on 93, so X is equal to 19. The temperature decreased 19 degrees from the warmest time of day until Dan went to sleep. Today, we were able to solve two-step problems with variables. We learned we have to read the problem to understand what is being asked because the problems required more than one mathematical step. Today's objective was to be able to solve two-step word problems with variables. We were able to solve our problems by thinking about what was being asked, drawing models, and using equations to solve.